as China's economy grows, as its power grows on the back of its economy, it no longer accepts American primacy as a foundation for the Asian order. It wants a bigger share of the region. It contests American primacy again, and that's what's happening right now. But it still remains the case, in my view, that the United States fundamentally misunderstands China's objectives. But extremely sophisticated Americans who speak Chinese perfectly well and have been studying China all their lives still believe that China is going to accept American primacy as a foundation for the Asian order, even as China's economy overtakes America's. Now, I find that, I'm sure it's wrong. But the risk in the US-China relationship is that they don't have that. Both sides believe the other will back down. Both sides underestimate the risk of rivalry and conflict. Both are prepared, to my mind, to take very unwise risks. And so I think the US-China relationship is poised in a much more dangerous place than most other people do. I think this is immensely significant for Australia. Australia can't work, we can't have the future we want if the US-China relationship doesn't remain stable, and not just does not go to war, but it doesn't become too adversarial. And if anyone thinks that the United States-China relationship might not very probably evolve in a way that requires us to choose, they're kidding themselves. Well, the first thing to understand about the Senkaku Islands, I'll call it Senkakus, is that it's not really about the islands at all. It is about primacy in Asia. We shouldn't for a moment presume that the United States will remain a strong player in Asia. It has choices to make. I think that China will be prepared to pay extremely high costs and run very big risks in order to get out of the position of subordination it feels it's in at the moment. The point is that when I look at China as a revisionist power, a power that wants to change the international system, I see it as quite modest in its aspirations. That is because China does have a huge stake in stability. Barack Obama has given the most important speech that any American president has given about China since 1972 in Canberra. The evolution of the US-China relationship is the single most critical determinant of Australia's international environment over the next few decades. If it goes well, this country's got a good future. If it goes badly, we're screwed. So we as a national priority should absolutely be aiming to do whatever we can to influence both the US and China. To build that relationship in a way that works for us. And we shouldn't be, even if we only have a 5% chance of making a difference, why wouldn't we try? What do we say to our grandchildren? If 35 years from now, the region has been ripped apart by a nuclear war between the United States and China, and they ask us, what did you guys do to stop that happening? I mean, there it was. Look at what you were all saying in 2011, 2012, 2013 about this wonderful new age. It all fell apart in 2014, to be pessimistic. What did you do to stop it? And if we say, oh, well, we weren't sure the Americans really wanted to hear from us, is to start representing to Washington and Beijing the kind of strategic relationship they should have. This is the most important diplomatic challenge Australia has ever faced.
Suggesting that we might be living not in a unipolar world, but in a different environment.